A Dalton home that she leased to Mayor Tiffany Henyard has filed eviction papers. She says Henyard has not paid her rent, and now she wants her.
Now she's teasing a big announcement that she claims will result in some of her opponents being arrested and charged.
Okay, the drama surrounding Mayor Tiffany Henyard is incredible. You won't believe the boldness of some of the people involved, and Henyard's latest actions will make you wonder how someone could be so brazen in abusing their position of authority. From unpaid rent to extravagant spending to threats of arresting her own critics, the situation is getting out of hand. If you thought municipal politics couldn't get exciting, think again. This tale has it all: scandal, corruption, and a mayor who obviously believes she is untouchable.
To Tiffany Henyard's landlord, and she says she came to this Thornton Township meeting Tuesday night hoping to get paid what she says she's owed.
Tiffany Henyard, who proudly identifies herself as a super mayor, may soon have to deal with something far less glamorous than her oversized paycheck photo. She has been living lavishly, squandering other people's money, arguing with local authorities, and threatening to make arrests, all while she is behind on her rent payments for her own house in spite of earning a hefty salary as mayor of Dalton. And Thornton Township's supervisor has been evading rent payments, and her landlord, Janetta Hull, is at her end attempting to detain her. Now picture yourself as the mayor of a town with thousands of dollars in overdue rent. It's a complete mess, but that's only the beginning. Stay tuned as we analyze everything that's happened. Controversial individual, the drama surrounding her eviction serves as a wonderful starting point for illustrating the extent of Henyard's concept. Her landlord, Hull, was friends with her and even worked on some of her campaigns in the past. You would think that having a relationship like that would make things go more smoothly, but in 2021, when Hull was ready to rent her house to a separate family, Hull feels a little under pressure because it's not often that the mayor of your town requests to move into your property and you reluctantly accept. What could go wrong? She received a late-night phone from Henyard stating that she wanted the apartment for herself.
Absurd. Which is more fees for me.
In 2023, things have rapidly deteriorated, and Poole decided to raise the rent by only a few $100s because of rising property taxes. Henyard and her partner Kamal Woods did not seem to enjoy that. Kamal, who also works for the local government, was earning six figures. Claimed for pay, they refused to pay an additional $200 each month because they couldn't afford the new rent. And believe it or not, we're talking about a couple who make over $300,000 annually. They subsequently stopped paying rent completely. Hull claims that the last payment she received was back in August, and she currently owes over $5,000 in past due rent and late fees. What's worse is that Henyard allegedly changed the locks on the house and garage to prevent Hull from entering, preventing her from. Her use of her own property for upkeep nearly seems to indicate that she believes her position as mayor grants her complete authority, especially when it comes to the property of others.
Just here because I'm at wit's end and I fear that I'm going to go into foreclosure soon if I can't get this matter handled.
Hull. Henyard was sued for eviction by Hull, who was reasonably irate, in late September. However, the pair has been avoiding the law by avoiding the sheriff's attempts to serve the papers. Imagine that the mayor is the one who's. She is out here evading court documents as if she's above everything, and it's gotten so bad that she had to employ a special process server to find them. To top it all off, Hull says she regrets ever renting to Henyard, calling her. According to Hull Henyard, who banned her on all platforms, her behavior was anything but what you'd expect from someone in public office. She felt absolutely degraded by someone she had formerly thought of as a friend. Hull claimed that as a mayor, you would believe that she would be in line with good citizenship norms. But you don't see that with these individuals. They feel free to behave as they like.
I've been out here a few times to serve them. For a household that makes, over $350,000 a year.
But in all honesty, this whole rent scandal is only a small portion of Henyard's bigger mess. While she's avoiding eviction, a bigger storm is brewing with her leadership, or rather, her lack of it. And she's involved in a number of scandals that have gotten so bad that the FBI is looking into her. The FBI is investigating possible corruption, and when they show up, you can tell that things are serious because a lot of the anger is related to the way Henyard has been managing Dalton's finances, or rather, how he has been mismanaging them. The village is currently in debt by millions of dollars, and many people are blaming Henyard for it. Spending carelessly if you believe that she has poor personal finances. Hold off till you learn what she has been doing with public funds. Under Henyard leadership, former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot was actually asked in to look into Dalton's financial mess, and the results are rather damning. In April 2022, Dalton's general fund collapsed. 561 million people lived in the village. General fund, but that had fallen to a deficit of $365 million by May 2024. How can a town go from having millions in the bank to having almost $4 million in total? Perhaps the spending patterns revealed by Lightfoot's investigation have something to do with.
It's getting to be redundant, and we're getting tired of coming here, not having the laws followed, not having a meeting.
According to reports, Henyard has been using the village's credit cards as if they were her own piggy bank, making absurd purchases on sites like Wayfair and Amazon. And we're not even talking about a few $100s here and there, but no, we're talking about tens of thousands of dollars in one transaction. In January 2023, she paid an astounding $40,000 on Amazon. He then made 2 additional purchases totaling about $10,000. Who does that? This is absurd for a mayor who should protect the community. Thousands of public dollars are being dropped here like monopoly money.
Arrests for individuals involved. I will be pressing charges.
However, things don't end there. According to another study, Henyard spent over $67,000 on luxurious accommodations and first-class travel, such as while visiting New. The city of York in Times Square, she and her crew slept at the Marriott Marquis, where the bill was over $13,000. This isn't exactly the affordable option that most people would choose in Atlanta. And she also racked up an additional $9,000, not to mention the fine dining records, which revealed that between July and November, almost $23,000 was spent on restaurant expenses at the Four Seasons. Henyard has declined to clarify why these excursions are being made, yet you can't believe it's all for official business when you're living it up in 5-star hotels and fine dining establishments.
As another board meeting got canceled because of a lack of a quorum.
And that came after a disagreement about where to hold the meeting as trustees expressed concerns for their safety.
Due to the serious consequences of this extravagant expenditure, Dalton is finding it difficult to pay its unpaid invoices and vendors for several months. According to Lightfoot's study, more than 6 million checks have been printed for village businesses but never distributed. Take a moment to consider that. Millions are owed by the village to those who offered products and services, but the mayor is out here spending a lot of money on Amazon and remaining at the Four Seasons.
Lord showed up here to see her tenant in person after she says Henyard has been dodging both her and rent payments for months.
Locals are understandably infuriated. Former village trustee Valeria Stubbs didn't hold back either, saying Tiffany needs to be put in jail or made an example of that. She can't just go around using our money and spending it however she wants, like the job comes with the cash register. Andrea McKay, a resident of Doon, said she was devastated by the news, especially knowing that seniors in the community are struggling to make ends meet while Henyard is out there spending like there's no tomorrow. There are others like Stubbs, and as more information becomes available, Henyard will feel more pressure. Keeps growing now. In a Facebook Live rant that lasted an hour and a half, Henyard went on to discuss how she plans to press charges against those who have been pointing fingers at her. She did not specify what crimes she believes have been committed, but her tone made it clear that she is out for revenge. If you thought she would back down after being exposed in this way, you would be mistaken. She is doubling down on her power grabs, even going so far as to threaten to arrest her critics. Promise to uncover more information about them in the future, but the problem is that this isn't the first time she's threatened to spill the beans. She's done this before, even in a brief podcast where she said she would expose corruption, but nothing came of it. It's a power and money grab, And it's difficult to believe her when she's dealing with an FBI investigation and lawsuits from her own village trustees who aren't willing to stand by while Henyard wreaks havoc on the town's finances. They have a lawsuit against her, claiming that she falsified checks and concealed financial documents. The trustees and Henyard are now having separate meetings since they are unable to agree on a venue. It is akin to a soap opera power struggle, with Henyard holding on to her position despite all the uproar after a judge recently decided that village meetings could be held at the local park district for additional room, but only if she is in charge of them.
Does all this point the finger to Tiffany or allow me? I'm over it. Now it's time.
In an attempt to restore order to the village, Jason House, a trustee, called the judge's decision a victory for the community, stating that it upholds the principles of fairness and transparency and that the people of Dothan must come first. However, Henyard doesn't seem to be focused on that. Her relationship with the trustees has deteriorated to the point where they have been holding separate meetings without her, which has led to a lawsuit in which she is attempting to get her meetings acknowledged as the official ones. This strange circumstance demonstrates how far things have fallen apart under her direction.
In a month, a Thornton Township Board meeting was canceled, this time because Supervisor Tiffany Henyard and a trustee couldn't agree on where to have the meeting.
Even more startling is the fact that, in spite of everything, she still has the audacity to declare her intention to seek re-election. Can you believe that, while facing eviction and an FBI investigation, she is out there telling people she merits a second term? It's truly astounding how detached from reality she appears to be. Henyard is wagering that the people of Dolan will still support her, but it's becoming more difficult to imagine how she might win back their faith with every new scandal. What do you think Tiffany Henyard will be able to achieve? Avoid the repercussions of her behavior, or is she on the verge of failing? How can someone who is so controversial still dare to run for re-election? Please share your opinions in the comment section below. And remember to like for additional updates on this developing drama. Subscribe as well.